Happy Beth Terry, so she was like, oh my god.
Gopescope here. Welcome to Space Engineers Weekly. First up, it's time for the Creator Spotlight. This week we are taking a look at a talented builder who has a particularly innovative building style. It's Parkasever. From microbots to alien ships and exoskeletons, and this wicked baller car, Parkasever has time and again impressed me with his ability to use and abuse blocks in ways that have never occurred to me or many others. If you want to creep up on your friends with some microbots, have an exoskeleton duel, or brave the dangers of the xeno-infested cuttlefish, check out Parkasever's workshop after the show. You can find a link in the description below. Did I just rhyme? That must mean it's time for a crime. The crime of not getting enough attention. It's the workshop's Closet Pick of the Week, the segment where we find builds that deserve more attention and give them more attention. This week, it's MG Jester by Merrickxx. This nicely compact ship is full of well-thought-out detail both inside and out. It has ion and hydrogen propulsion, which allow it to take off from moons, Mars and Earth-like planets, and, alien planets. But I'll warn you, be careful of how much cargo you put in before you take off. The ship has heavy armor in logical places, but doesn't overuse it. It is nicely equipped with weapons for defense against meteor showers and light attack, and also has a pair of prow-mounted rocket launchers with a well-placed camera in case you want to liberate a cargo vessel of its goodies. I like the lines of this ship. The silhouette is nice, and I love what he did with the windows here, covering them partially with these sloped blocks. And this, in my mind, is an example of a nice use of interior blocks. Too often these are used in a gratuitous manner that is as hard on the triangle count as it is on the eyes. Speaking of the triangle count, this ship fits nicely into the exploration guidelines, coming in at just 311,014 triangles. It weighs 1.229 million kilograms, but has absolutely nothing in its cargo holds, so you might want to put a bit of uranium and ammunition in it. It has a nicely appointed interior with plenty of LCD panels giving you all of the info you need for your functional blocks, as well as instructions on how to set up a repair projector for the ship. This is indicative of the little touches Merrickxx has included throughout the interior of this well-thought-out ship. He's even programmed all the bridge button panels with useful functions, and created a timer block which, when triggered, turns on the repair projector, activates a hull breach alarm, and turns on a beacon which displays requesting backup for all to see. The last thing I want to mention about this ship is how much there is going on inside of it. From the outside, it doesn't look like there should be much in here, but once you start running around, you get the feeling of being in this really cool rabbit warren of a ship. Keep up the great work, Merrickxx. And to all of you viewers out there, if you're looking for a really cool starter to mid-game ship to build and mess around with, I would highly recommend checking out the MG Jester. You can find a link to the ship in the description below. This next segment is community feedback. Normally we'll have comments and questions from viewers directed at workshop contributors, Keen Software House, or myself. But because this series is new and there's not yet been an opportunity for feedback, I will provide the feedback in the form of an open letter to Keen Software House. I will start by saying that I love this game, to the tune of 1,600 hours played. That said, there are a few things I would like to ask for. First, as someone who wants to create more complex builds that can actually be used in the game, I would like to see pistons, rotors, and maybe other movable parts that we can actually use, even and especially in multiplayer. As this is a game that is all about engineering, I'd like to see these usable moving parts sooner rather than later. Second, which would probably be number one if I didn't live in creative mode, the multiplayer for this game is in need of attention. Of those who are interested in this game, I think a large contingent will play mostly or only in multiplayer. If multiplayer isn't usable, the community around this game is in danger of withering away. I realize this is still alpha, but I think playable multiplayer is important, even now. Third, I would like to suggest the addition of low triangle alternatives for some functional blocks. Some examples might be gyroscopes and warheads, which are often hidden away between armor or functional blocks where no one can see them anyway, meaning they contribute to the triangle count limit, but not to the look of the build. Another alternative solution might be to make them behave like armor blocks, essentially disappearing when surrounded by other armor or interior blocks. I want to end this letter by thanking the good people at Keen Software House for all of your hard work, and for making a game that, while still in alpha, is already one of my favorite games of all time. Can you sense it? The spankening is nigh! No, you're not going to get spanked. At least not by me, but this ship is. Let's see how it stands up to the punishing fire of the Gauntlet. I'm here with Kwangzu Yoshara, the creator of the Gauntlet. Kwangzu, can you tell us a little bit about what you've built here?
Yeah, so you're gonna want to try to fly your ship through there. You know, I got the lights going here, so just follow those. Stay in between them. Try to get to the end. Oh, and I got the turrets here. They're gonna try to kill you while you're trying to do that, and also put these walls here. Probably want to fly around those. Although, I suppose you could try to fly through them if you wanted to.
And what is that thing at the end?
Oh, that's a wall. If you can get your ship through that, even if it's damaged, then I suppose you win.
Oh, I meant the yellow thing in the middle.
Oh yeah, I put the thumbs up at the end. So if you make it, you get a nice thumbs up.
Our first pilot is already lining himself up. This is the first of 3 runs. We'll take the best out of the 3, and that will be the ship's score. Now let's watch now as he's beginning to approach the first of the 2 choppers, as Mr. Yoshara calls them. Now this pilot is hands down the best pilot flying this ship right now. Let's see how he navigates this. We're getting the first of the incoming fire from the turrets. He's navigating the a major collision with wall 3, and that looks like that has done him in. Okay, and here we have run 2 commencing. Same pilot. Again, hands down, best pilot flying the ship right now. And you can see he's got his turrets engaging something on the side. I think they're hitting decoys at the moment. Looks like he's definitely navigating the first. It looks like he's slowed down a little bit. I think he's maybe learned that too much velocity makes it too difficult to dodge these. Oh, very nicely. Nicely maneuvered, but I think he lost. Yes, he did lose some engines there. Ooh, collided with, what is that, wall? That's wall 3, I believe. A little bit of deja vu there, although not as bad as last time. Now, losing the velocity may actually be an advantage, as it turns out. I think that shedding the velocity from colliding may have... 2 major collisions. 2 major collisions, and, the prow of the ship has been just... Wow. The ship is still flying. There is still a pilot in the cockpit. That's amazing. That was quite a pummeling. We have lost all of the aft engines. There are no aft engines. Just a few small ion. Looks like the pilot's maybe noticing that he has some hydrogen thrust on his ventral. Yes, he has. Now, if he can dodge these rockets, perhaps he can maneuver himself back. But he is moving out of bounds. He's going to have to correct for that. He's going to have to correct for that and get back through this gate. It's a little bit like playing croquet. You've got to make it through the gates. You can't go around the outside. That is not allowed. Although, lucky for him, he's not in range of many turrets right now. So the slow-moving maneuver back through this gate is not going to be as deadly as it would be if there were more turrets. Oh, wow, okay, so he has collided with the warheads in Gate 9, and that has done him in. He's made it to Gate 9. The ship made it to Gate 10, but that doesn't count. Okay, we're beginning round 3 now. Our pilot is lining up his approach. Now, this is a new pilot. I'm sorry to say the first pilot from round 1 and 2 did die in round 2. But pilot number 3, he had a couple of test runs, so he's sort of up to snuff now, where the other pilot would have been. Maybe not quite as talented as that first pilot, but as I said, the first pilot did die, and so now this new pilot is going here. He's probably the second best pilot to have been flying this ship, but still hands down the best pilot piloting the ship right now. Making it through the choppers, actually handling the ship quite well. Some interesting sort of side maneuvers here. Now, I've noticed both of these pilots seem to be opting not to use their rocket launchers very much, or not at all, actually. So far, it's been not at all. And that's sort of up to the pilots. There are different schools of thought on that. With rotating parts and things like this, if you start firing rockets, you could end up having chunks of debris flying in an even more unpredictable fashion than when they're attached to rotors. That perhaps is the reasoning behind not firing the rockets, although Some may think that, oh my goodness, well we've had a major collision. Oh wow, those two spinning sections have collided with the underside of the ship and have torn the heart out of the ship in one fell swoop. It looks like it has destroyed the reactor and the hydrogen tank. And there are still Gatling turrets firing, but it seems to have, the ship is unpowered. You can see those ion thrusters are no longer active. I think the turrets that are firing are only the interior turrets, it would appear. Maybe those are the only ones that are left. Oh, there is an aft turret. It's not firing. So the ship is dead in the water, drifting into Wall 5, but it looks like the pilot only made it to Wall 3. And oh, yes, I'm getting an update right now. The pilot did die. So we've lost 2 pilots and 3 ships. I'd like to offer a posthumous well done to our pilots, and especially a great job and well done to Merrickxx Gaming and the MG Jester, getting a final score of 9 out of 10 on The Gauntlet. Thank you for joining me. Happy engineering from all of us at IPN, and we'll see you next week. Want to help the show? Please send me suggestions for Creator Spotlight and Closet Pick of the Week. You can also give feedback for the news segment, whether it's directed to the workshop contributors, Keen Software House, or me. Thank you.
Incoming fire. Your bad boy close on through here. Come on the fuck out, says. Overwhelm and destroy one station at a time. Let's do this and get the hell out.